कर्मेन्द्रियाणि संयम्य य आस्ते मनसा स्मरन् इन्द्रियार्थान् विमूढात्मा मिथ्याचार स उच्यते.
Vimudhatma. So Bhagavan is using that term. Vimudhatma is that deluded person. What kind of deluded person? That person who is trying to forcibly quieten his mind. And this kind of a person who forcibly quietens his mind is, we can say, is actually a doctorate in delusion, a PhD. We actually started Srimad Bhagavad Gita with the concept of delusion. We have discussed it a lot. Arjuna was deluded, and that's why Bhagavan had to start with this teaching of Bhagavad Gita. And this delusion is what leads to the person asking or person trying to control or reining in the mind of that person. And when you try to rein in the mind, that is a forced action, because of which the person then imitates the other person who is already attained that stable wisdom. And how does this person imitate someone who has attained stable wisdom? By restraining or controlling the organs of action. Karmendriyani samyamya. The organs of action that act outwardly, which perpetuate to our environment, those organs of action, he constrains, forcibly restrains them. Actually, we can see this kind of people are growing in number, drastically, uncontrollably growing in number. Ranging from some that are unfortunately arrogant religious institutions to very polished, will not be arrogant outwardly, very polished, yet blatantly commercial yoga training centers, that churn out yoga teachers who are not fully qualified, and the previous religious institutions who are, preaching and growing a sense of followership. That is, we can see that uncontrollably growing in today's world. So this is a very, very relevant verse as far as this modern current era is concerned. So this person, this Vimudhatma, Karmendriyani Samyamya. But then what is happening inside such a person? Manasa Indriyarthan Smaran. So while the Vimudhatma, while the deluded person is controlling and reining in the organs of action, in the mind, the Indriyarthan, in the mind meaning Manasa, in the mind, Indriyarthan, the sense objects, Smaran, he is constantly remembering, constantly repeating. So inside the person's mind and intellect is roaming around all over the object world. That is what is happening. And when that happens, Bhagavan says, Sa uchyate mityachara. Such a person, he gives a title, is called a hypocrite. Mityachara. Mithya is false. Achara is conduct. A person of false conduct. So the organs of action are what? They are the hands, the legs, the vocal cords, the reproductive system, and the excretory system. These are the 5 organs of action. A person who does not act through his organs of action, but the mind is rife with memories of gratification, is a hypocrite. That person is cheating himself. Actually, mental dissipation is much more dangerous than physical indulgence. Better to use the faculties to serve the world rather than to curb the faculties and keep on having dissipation inside the mind. So there was this holy man who did all the prescribed actions as per the Vedas, outwardly. Nearby lived a prostitute. And a stream of customers would keep visiting her all through the day and especially through the night. And this noble soul, he kept watching, he kept count of all her misdemeanors, of every single one. A few times he summoned her, called her, and chided her, admonished her, and told her that you better change your ways. This is not good for you. She lamented upon her situation. She was desperate. There was no other choice. She had a family to support. She didn't have a father, the mother, the sisters, the brothers, all had to be supported by her. She gave a huge situation and lamented about it and prayed to him and prayed to the Lord and said, while I cannot change my ways, I cannot change my profession, because this is the profession, whether you think it is base or whatever it is, this is the profession that sustains me and my family. And I pray to you, I pray to Lord, please protect me. This further annoyed the recluse, and he actually started recording all her misdeeds, all her lapses. And how he did that was piling up pebbles, for every single misdeed as per him that she did, or every single customer that visited her, he kept a pebble, and that pebble became a small hillock. And when that gained significant size and proportion, he summoned her again, and in front of the entire public, he completely censured her, severely, publicly, and told her that the enormity of her sins were extremely huge. Now, this heartbroken woman, as the story goes, she died that same night. She just couldn't bear it anymore. And she just passed away that night. But she passed away appealing to the Lord, for deliverance. Please spare me from this unholiness, as people are saying it. And she prayed and passed away. Strangely enough, the same night, this holy man also departed. Now, the defiled remains of this prostitute, they were just thrown away in wasteland for the vultures and others to come and feed upon that. But the holy man was accorded a very respectful farewell. The scene develops in another stage, and that other stage is the Yamaloka. Just before you go to heaven or hell, you go to Yamaloka. So the next scene is in Yamaloka. The scene was very different. There, the prostitute was honorably received and sent to heaven, while this holy man, the recluse, was consigned to hell. And this excited him, and the excited holy man demanded from Lord, what is going on? Give me an explanation for this injustice. I've led all my life piously, following all the scriptural dharmas, while this woman, a prostitute, and what is happening here? And then Bhagavan tells him that although living in a polluted body, the prostitute's mind was always fixed on the divine. Whereas your mind, although leading an outwardly pious life, was always fixed on and wandering all over unholy concerns. That is why this is the result.